Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the channel for busy, unsatisfied professionals who feel stuck in their life to use their creativity to release their value and just grow in their career and in their lives. Question: do you have a love-hate relationship with the snooze button? It's time to wake up. Just 5 more minutes, mom. It's so warm and comfy in this bed. Just 5 more minutes and you hit the snooze button. Let's talk about that today. Having a strong morning routine is essential to getting your day started off on the right foot. So poll time. How many of you actually use the snooze feature? Alright, how many of you, hands up, how many of you have 1 snooze for your alarm? Alright, how many of you have 2 snooze for your alarm? Is snooze or snoozes? I don't know. How many of you have 3 or more snooze for your alarm, snoozes for your alarm? Alright, I think the most I've ever seen is up to 6 snoozes. Now, I've seen tips going around to help overcome that constant snoozing is to put your device or your alarm, whatever you use, at the opposite end of your room, so you literally have to get out of bed to turn it off. Hey, I've seen that work, but I've also seen people who have told me they get up, they turn the alarm off, and they go right back into bed. What's happening? There's this fight that's going on. How do you get out of that vicious cycle? And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about the dangers of chronic snoozing, not just snoozing, but chronic snoozing. Right? Now, just before we get into the dangers, I heard Jay Shetty say that, listen, why would you even want to wake up alarmed? And that blew my mind away. It's like, waking up to an alarm, it's like, hitting the cortisol level is very high. But, many of us depend on an alarm because of whatever circumstances. But you need to be cautious as to where should be your point of no return. Chronic snoozing has very possible dangers for your life. Let's get into it. All right, so danger number 1. When you hit the snooze alarm, you're actually indicating to your conscious and your subconscious mind that commitments are not important in your life. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a commitment to wake up or a commitment to start a business or commitment to do whatever it is. So the brain starts to get trained that, when we make commitments, all right, it's up in the air. It can happen, it may not happen. When you constantly snooze, your brain begins to get confused as to, all right, when we make a commitment, do I need to give you the tools? Do I give you the energy? Do I give you the insight to make this commitment happen? Or do I just wait? So it's in this sort of limbo. And this can spill over into other aspects of your life. And I've seen that. In my coaching with many clients, I've started to ask them what is their wake-up routine. And I realized that a lot of people who struggle with procrastination, it does have some sort of correlation with their snoozing and waking up. Hey, maybe we should do a study on that. Or maybe there is. Let me know in the comments if there is such a study. I just realized that I could have checked on that. So let me know if you've ever seen a study like that. If not, we should conduct a study on that. Point number 2, when you're in this chronic snoozing state, you also signal to your brain and to your mind that, listen, we're just in this limbo, we're in this indecision state. You're starting to foster indecision into your mind. It has signals coming in and you just don't know what to do. It doesn't know, all right, so which decision should we make? Should we wake up? Should we go back to sleep? Should we wake up? Should we go back to sleep? So it's constantly in this state of indecision. And that can also spill over into other aspects of your life where you have multiple options. We call it paralysis by analysis. Your brain is going to overanalyze things because it's not sure which one to do, how to get over that hump. Chronic snoozing, some of us are in it and we just don't know how to get out of it. How do we get over that hump? How do I get up when it's time to get up? And people have tried different tricks. But some of us have just given up and said, this is just what works for me, so I'll continue to do that. When you do that, you're setting up a comfort zone of indecision around you. And that's not good for the productivity of your life, of your career, your relationships, whatever it might be. You need to be very decisive in your actions. Danger number 2. Danger number 3 relates to danger number 2 of chronic snoozing is you're starting to train your brain, right, not to pay attention to the signals in your life. An alarm is a signal. It's a warning sign. And when you constantly snooze, you're telling your brain like, it's not important. That light is blinking on your dashboard and you're not paying attention to it. And check yourself, right? How many times has your body or your brain told you that, listen, it's time to rest, we need a break, we need to slow down? But you've hit the snooze on your energy, you've hit the snooze on whatever it is, and that starts to build up, and you end up getting into a state of chronic fatigue. And if chronic fatigue persists over time, that leads to burnout. But your brain just doesn't know how to stop. So you're constantly working. You're complaining that, look, I'm overworked, my boss is overworking me, working from home is getting to me. But you just don't know how to stop it. You just feel overwhelmed. You're not sure how to stop it because your brain has been trained to just relax. When you're ready, you let me know, or we'll force you to slow down. So you really got to start building up that fortitude to pay attention to the alarms. Stop letting this chronic snoozing signal to your brain that it's not important to pay attention to signals. That's a very dangerous state to be in. Danger number 4. Now, the reason why you snooze, I presume, is because you really value your sleep. You value your sleep and you enjoy the comfort that it brings. But the very same thing that you value, you are compromising by constantly snoozing. What do I mean by that? I found that when you're in a chronic snoozing state, it points to a not so strong a weak nighttime routine, right? You're chronically snoozing because your nighttime routine is not as strong. You're up late at night Netflixing, you have a lot of blue light at night, you're watching movies, you're on social media, you've complained the whole day that you're tired, but just out of the blue, you're still up late at night. And that feeds over into your morning because you've not gotten good quality sleep at night. So you need to constantly snooze because you've not set yourself up to sleep. So the very same thing that you value, which is sleep, you are compromising by not having a strong nighttime routine also. A strong nighttime routine helps to build a strong morning routine. Now let me give you just a quick science tip on that before you think I'm just rambling. Now in our brains, in our neural networks, there's an element called, I think it's an element, I don't know what they're called, synapses, right? And they help to pass electrical impulses between neurons, to help with exchange of information. Of course, with a whole lot of other things, it's a complex network, but just focusing on the synapses. And their job is to, pass electrical impulses between neurons. Now, during the day, they wake up, they're alert, they're ready to go, they're doing their work. Now, during night, and particularly at sleep, is when they have their downtime, their off-peak. And this downtime is very critical for them to recharge, for them to be able to do their work effectively. That's the importance of sleep. Now, number 2 on that, without this downtime, for the synapses to relax and to recharge and re-energize themselves, they become like walking zombies. And these synapses are very important in a process called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to continuously change, to continuously adapt, to pick up new skills, to find patterns that have happened during the day of information that has come in. And you know where this is going. And of course, yes, to help with creativity, because creativity is making connection between not so obvious things, allowing the brain to make these connections. And that can't happen if your synapses are always fired up and charged even when you go to sleep, and then with the constant snoozing. So they are also confused when the alarm goes off. Is it time to wake up? Should we get recharged or should we stay down? Do we get recharged? Do we stay down? So they're in this vicious cycle. And that's the danger. Those are the dangers of chronic fatiguing. All right, guys, that was a lot today, and I hope you've gotten some value in it, and I hope you're gonna take some time to reflect on it. Hit the like button. Let's hang out in the comments. Let me know what your experience have been, anything you'd like to share with us. What strategies have you used to overcome chronic snoozing? And hit the subscribe button. Share this with someone who is, struggling with chronic fatigue. Careful if it's your partner or something. Make sure you present it in a very nice, helpful way, and not in a judgmental way. All right, guys, that's it for today. And tomorrow morning, make sure you get up when you hear that alarm, and eventually get to a point where you don't even need an alarm. You train your body to wake up at the right time. Catch you later. All right, I'm gonna link you to a video I shot about what I think is the most important skill for 2021 is the ability or the art to listen. You should take a listen to that related to this topic for today.